Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Paranormal Whiffles. I am Ray, as always. But like I said, you should know that by now. You've been watching me for a while. Hope you're well and having a good evening. And welcome back to a funny, but not so funny episode. I'm going to say funny in a sense that what we're talking about is basically coincidence, maybe. Um, Maybe even some premonitions, kind of thing. Um, but yeah, if you're into all that, please don't forget to sub and that, like always when I say these things. Likey, subscribe, turn notification belly on, and share me on social media with all your friends, family, and enemies. um so has anyone had a premonition? Like a feeling that you can't explain? Um like something like that. Has anyone had one? Because I'm kind of interested in. Have you, Jen? Okay. What about you, John and Tim? It's kind of fascinating, though. Yeah, lucid dreaming is actually crazy. That's crazy, Tim. Yeah, that's the craziest thing. Though, when you say something and you know exactly what the other person's saying, like we've had it happen to us a couple of times, ain't we, Tim? Where we've said the both basically the same thing. It's just kind of crazy. But has anyone had any premonitions? I think I had one. I can't remember off the top of my head, you know. Yeah. Hello, everyone who's just tuning in. We're talking about premonitions. Has anyone had one? Let me know. Right. So, I'm talking about premonitions because an event has just been and gone that turned 114 years old. Right. Can anyone tell me what event it is I'm talking about? Remember to like it, subscribe, turn notification belly on, and share me out to your friends and family and loved ones and everything. Have you, Tim? Right. Care to tell me what? Right, you can tell me about it if you want, or you can keep it in there and tell me off there. But can anyone tell me what happened 114 years ago? Just gone past the 114th anniversary of this. That's fine, Tim. But yeah, can anyone tell me what incident happened with the 114 years ago? Well, while Tim's doing that in the chat, and I'll read it in a second when he's done. Can anyone guess what the anniversary it was? I'll give you another minute. That's fine, Jen. Does anyone know? Think of a 1997 movie that was done on this. The answer is Titanic. No, ocean liner, like unsinkable ship from 1912. A sailed from Southampton. And went over to tried to go when was going to go over to New York, and then hit an iceberg. Yeah, lots of people have had premonitions about Titanic, right? And I'll tell you some of them now, right? So I've got 10 up. So basically, the first premonition they're saying, right, on this website, list first, right, is by Morgan Robertson. Technically, it's natural disaster because an iceberg, Jen. But here we go. Right. So Morgan Robertson, 14 years before Titanic happened, he wrote a book, right, called Futility or the Wreck of the Titan. And basically, the book's plot basically eerily resembles the real maritime disaster of the Titanic in 1912. It tells the story of the largest luxury liner in the world, which is called Titan, and it sank into the North Atlantic Ocean following a collision with an iceberg. And right, Morgan often said that he did not possess any psychic abilities, and that the novel was based on his knowledge of shipbuilding trends and understanding of the dangers of modern ships. So, yet the similarities basically are more than a little uncanny, right? Both the fictional ship, the Titan, in his book, and the real liner, the Titanic, were believed to be practically unsinkable. They were both the same size at roughly 220 meters long, were capable of reaching speed of 20 knots, and featured a barely legal number of lifeboats. And what's more, they both sank 400 nautical miles away from Newfoundland, Canada, on an April evening. Which is nuts, everyone. That is nuts. If you're not telling me that's not nuts, that is nuts. So the second account I'm going to be talking about is Edith Course Evans. Edith Course Evans was a first-class passenger on the Titanic who was returning to New York City following a trip to Europe to visit her cousins in Paris. She travelled alongside a group of sisters, Mrs. John Murray Brown, Mrs. E.D. Appleton, and Mrs. R.C. Cornell, who became acquainted with Colonel Archibald Gracie. When the Titanic struck the iceberg, men aboard the ship were attempting to reassure the ladies that the vessel was unsinkable. However, Edith told Colonel Gracie that a fortune teller had once warned her to beware of water, and she was convinced that this was the truth behind the prophecy. Despite this warning, though, variant accounts stated Edith gave up her seat in the lifeboat for one of the sisters she was travelling with, as her friend had children waiting for her at home. She was one of 4 first-class female passengers to die in the disaster. That's nuts. And damn, I'm sorry to hear that, Tim. At least it was only your phone, though. To be honest, you can replace a phone. You can't replace your life, can you? No offense. Right. The next account. So the next one is George Washington Vanderbilt II was a prominent member of the Vanderbilt family who was travelling aboard the Titanic with his wife Edith. The couple would often travel the world to adorn their home with antiques like oriental carpets, tapestries, artwork, etc. Despite their footman, who is there? Edwin Charles Wheeler loading their belongings onto the Titanic 2 days prior. The couple had planned to travel in a first-class cabin. And first, a family member then warned them against doing so, saying so many things can go wrong on a maiden voyage. So the Vanderbilts therefore rebooked onto the Olympic, with Edwin choosing to travel aboard the ship with his employer's belongings, and sadly lost his life during the sinking. Thanks, Tim. The next one is Esther Art. So the Art family were travelling aboard the Titanic as second-class passengers, as they were planning to start their new life together in Winnipeg, Canada. So at the same time of the maiden voyage, Eva Art was only 7. Despite being so young, Eva's memories of the tragedy never faded. It was her belief that a premonition by her mother Esther saved her life, as she believed deeming a ship unsinkable was flying in the face of God. In fact, Esther was so scared of the events that might unfold that she would sleep during the day to remain vigilant in her cabin at night. As she had a bump, the family had a chance to quickly escape the ship. However, Eva's father, Benjamin, refused to climb into the lifeboat to allow women and children to flee, and he gave his coat to his wife to keep his family warm, never seeing them again. Mad. But yeah, I'm just getting that. I'm not going to read all of them, but there's loads on. There's like a few more people on here, and that. Like, there's a few more of the ship's people, but there's some of them, right? Like, that's crazy though. The Titanic premonitions, right? That's some of the craziest like premonitions in the world, you know. And there's an interview with Eva Art actually talking of her on YouTube, I believe, from 1990? Question mark. I believe so. I could be wrong, but yeah. Go and read some of the premonitions, because that is crazy, everyone. Right. So yeah, let me know what you all think, everyone, and make sure, like I said, you're liking the video. So yeah, Titanic is crazy, right? Now, and let's go on to another event. Who remembers what happened in 2001 in New York City? Just say yes or no. Right. Does anyone else remember what happened on September 11th, 2001 in New York City? Jen, John, Cam, who was watching live in the and that, or who was watching on catch up? Let's just say it changed one of the most recognizable landscapes in history. That's fine, Tim. Link for what, Jen? And here's the Twin Towers, yes. Here's the Twin Towers, well done. So basically, a few people had it right. So basically, these are some notable ones, and then I'll tell you some others, right? Barrett Naylor is one, a Wall Street exec, right? He previously experienced a gut feeling to turn around on February 26, 1993, the day of the first World Trade Center bombing, which is crazy. On the morning of 9/11, he reported feelings on an identical and overpowering overpowering way again, and someone was telling him, right, go home, and he did, and he survived, which is crazy. Michael Eason, who worked on the 78th floor of the North Tower, said that he reported that his guide dog, was unusually restless the night before the attack, creating an uneasy atmosphere that he felt was a warning. Then there's been lots of eyewitness individuals saying that they had the same dream of a plane crashing into a tall building and there was chaos days before the event. Also, another person reported that they dreamt that the towers collapsed, which was like which they described as looking like a Quran board. But this is the one that kind of gets me weird. Like, this is the one that gets me like weird. After this one, I'm going to say the weird one. The 7th floor vision. So this person called C.J. Zana described having a recurring movie in their head for 2 whole months prior, featuring an aerial view of a city, a heavy in a long tunnel, and eventually the vision of a tall building buckling and collapsing. When it happened, he was like relieved in a way that he knew that what was coming. Technically, which is crazy. Now this is the one. Yeah, I'll probably put the one of the eyewitnesses in for you. Give me a second. List first. There you go, Jen. Right. Now, this is the one that is kind of weird for me, everyone. An FBI agent. Just days before starting his new job as the head of security at the World Trade Center, former FBI agent John O'Neill, who had been investigating Al Qaeda, told a friend they'll probably try to finish the job in reference to the 1993 bombing, a prediction that proved true. Funny, innit? Now, you might be thinking, what's so special to talk about 9/11? Well, yeah, exactly. Don't be sitting and staring. Come in and chat and get involved, everyone. Come in and interact and get to know this live as well. If you're into stuff like this, because you can't. So I know you're all into this because you watch other people with like paranormal stuff. Right now, anyways, we've got few celebrities that had near misses and potential premonitions of 9/11. The Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane was scheduled to be on the American Airlines Flight 11, the first plane that hit the North Tower. He missed the flight by 10 minutes due to being an over and being given the wrong departure time by his travel agent. Just think, if he had gone, we wouldn't have had Family Guy still to this day, or the Orville, or American Dad. Crazy, innit? Now, you're welcome, Jen. Mark Wahlberg was originally booked on the same flight as Seth MacFarlane, but he changed his plans at the last minute to attend a film festival in Canada. Which is crazy. Now, Jermaine Jackson, in his autobiography, claimed that Michael was scheduled for a meeting at the top of the World Trade Center on 9/11, but he overslept because he stayed up late talking to his mum. Rob Lowe come out and said that he was on a flight with a 9/11 terrorist, basically 2 weeks prior, that he claimed could have been a test run for the actual attacks themselves. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, the one who was old Fergie was married to old Nonce Drew, right, old Nancy Andrew. Her charity, Chances for Children, was located on the 101st floor of the North Tower, and she was scheduled to be there but missed her meeting due to being stuck in traffic. Patty Austin, the singer who was supposed to perform on September the 10th, 2001, but her mother suffered a stroke, causing her to fly back home to San Francisco, thus avoiding her planned travel on United Airlines Flight 93, which was hijacked and crashed in Pennsylvania. Ian Thorpe, the Australian Olympic star, was out for a run on the morning of 9/11 and decided to go back to his hotel to get his camera to play tourist at the Twin Towers, only to see the attacks on the television before leaving his room. Now, another one is Christine Lampard, Frank's Christine Bleakley. The TV presenter later claimed that she had a sixth sense and had a dream that she believed was a premonition of the 9/11 attacks, which is crazy. And then this one ain't a celebrity, but there's a lot more. Literally. But yeah. Yeah, it's fine, bro. But yeah, there's some crazy people there, everyone. Jackie Chan was another one. Apparently, it's unconfirmed story, but that's crazy if it's true. Um, right. Now, now, can anybody tell me what happened on October 9th of not? I know people might not know exactly, but can people tell me what happened on October of 1966? Just south of Merthyr Tydfil, this place that I'm going to be talking about now. So I'll give you a clue. Of what happened in October 1966. It happened in Wales, so anyone who's in Wales might not have heard about it from family. Fine. Yes, John. It's a colliery spoil tip. 144 people died in it. 28 were adults, and an astonishing 116 were children. It did land on a school. Oh, it's crazy. Like, I'm seeing a picture now. It's like crazy. But people have premonitions about this disaster as well, which is funny. Right? But I will put this into a funny context for you. But like I said, funny being not like I'm taking a piss out of anything, but funny as in a weird coincidence, which I think is funny. 143 bodies have been found and discovered, right? 49 have been unaccounted for. And it was in Aberfan, I mean, not Jenny, idiot way. Jen, yeah, right. There are some premonitions of disasters, like um. So many residents had already raised concerns about the safety risks of waste being piled high over the schools. But did some locals see the disaster coming? Yeah, according to one bereaved family, on the day before the avalanche, their 8-year-old son Paul Davis, literally John, it is horrific. On the day before the avalanche, their 8-year-old son Paul Davis drew a group of figures digging into a hillside with the words "the end" written above them. Meanwhile, in the run-up to the disaster, a 10-year-old girl named Elmay Jones reportedly told her mother she was afraid to die, and that she dreamt something black had come down on her school. Like Paul, she died that fateful day. Oh, for fuck's sake, Cam. Yeah, it's typical though, isn't it? Why are they going to sue him because he retired, didn't he? He retired. They didn't want him to retire early. But technically, they can't stop him because that's what he feels, isn't it? I'm just seeing if there's any more reports, but I can't see any more. But it's crazy how these kids have had these two, the two for Aberfan. Am I saying it right? Aberfan, Aberfan, or Aberfan? I was right then, yeah. And then, oh yeah, here's another premonition, right? This teacher in London, right, called Kathleen Middleton, right? She didn't. She was a music teacher in suburban London. She just awoke, right? She awoke just choking and gasping, convinced that disaster was about to strike, right? Which is crazy. So crazy, isn't it? Like premonitions are like. Do you think they right? I've got a question for everyone in chat and on the catch up. Right. Type instinct if you think they were just gut instincts that they had, or type two, or put for the second word, put intuition if you think it's premonition. So instincts or intuition. There you go. I want to see what you. So, do you think that all these people that from these events I spoke about tonight had instinct, and there's just like a normal instinct, or do you think it was intuition, as in gut instinct, premonitions, that kind of thing? Right, that's one, boy. So you think it's intuition? No, I'm putting intuition in as in being like it's a premonition. I'm putting intuition as a premonition and fucking hell, gut instinct, that kind of thing, like intuition, gut instinct, premonition, that kind of path, Tim. instinct, I'm putting as that's like, oh, like an instinct of like, oh, I think it's going to rain today, you know. Like there's a run of the mill kind of thought, you know. Yeah, but it would also be like intuition, though, wouldn't it? Because you're listening to your gut instinct and your premonition is telling you, like, oh, that something's off. Your intuition would be, oh, let's follow it. That's what I'm saying, calling it under intuition. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, but that's why I was calling it putting gut instinct, premonitions are all under intuition and not under instinct. Because instinct is like basically going, oh, I think it's going to rain today. That's my instinct. But then it doesn't rain. So you could just brush it off as anything. But if you have a premonition or gut instinct and that, right, then you could say, oh, I don't know, an Aberfan disaster is going to happen tomorrow and get another one. And then you'd go in and your intuition going, right, you know what I mean? Like that. Your intuition will then tell you, right, I need to know, I need to do something here. But your instinct would just brush it off, wouldn't it? And I was getting at. Anyways, I'm going to finish off this live and I'm going to go back into the limbo BC. Remember to like and subscribe if you don't already. Anyone who's watching on catch up. Also, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Big love to you all. I need to go get some food as well. I'm starving. See you all in a bit. But when I come in, we'll do something in a minute, right? When I come in, all right? So, and if anyone wants to do stuff, you know, and like with Discord and that, let us know, and I'll send you a link. Good, and see you all later.